Okay, so keep rolling. Understanding fear is a vital part of your healing process. Fear does not dissipate, meaning that it is not obsolete. It won't, like, in your, as you evolve, as you heal, as you grow, from the traumas, from the, your past, from all the layers that many will call strongholds, right? And to be free from that stuff and to be lifted from that stuff to really truly be healed and walk in healing and wholeness. One important balance and vital part is really understanding fear. Like I said, fear is something that will not leave. You need fear. You need a healthy sense. Well, we all have that innate ability to survive. And for example, if you were to see danger, you need the fear within you, a healthy fear, to, think of ways to navigate how to escape. If you didn't have that fear, we wouldn't be here because our ancestors needed that, right? When there wasn't the street lights, when it was just natural. The only natural light they had was the sun and the moon, right? So running from tigers and bears, they needed those survival traits, those natural, innate, healthy fears to stay alive. Well, we have that same type of fear within us. We need it as well. Think about if you were to, let's say, if you were crossing the street, and let's say if a car just sporadically came out of nowhere your way, right? So you need that fear within you, where the brain says danger, danger, get out of the way. The block or the stronghold or the part that is the fear that we have experienced, that same fear that I just mentioned, can be inflamed and irrational if we have experienced trauma, deep trauma, any kind of trauma, or experienced unresolved issues as children that we have carried as an adult. So as you go through life with these unresolved issues and unresolved traumas, we show up with these walls and we show up with these different belief patterns in and how we show up in life shows up in our everyday life, in our relationships, in our finances, in our health, in how we view ourselves is oftentimes not in alignment with how God sees us. And so when I asked for healing, when I cried out to God because I knew something was off about me and I knew that it wasn't me, but I didn't quite know the navigation of that I thought. We all have the navigation within us. We all have the blueprint within us. So I want to mention that. But during that time when I was in that space at that very, very dark and chaotic time, I remember crying out to God, asking God to help me and show me who I really was. And in that process, one of the things that I found is understanding fear. You think that fear would just always it will just leave and dissolve. Let's process that for a minute because it's I don't want you to think that fear has to leave because there's a part of fear within you that I mentioned earlier that you need. Whenever the part that where fear can become the block of your healing is when we have unresolved issues and unresolved traumas in our bodies, in our hearts, unforgiveness. We might have still trauma in our bodies. So we have the body has memory. And so if we haven't tapped in and stay connected within ourselves, for many of us, we have many different symptoms that's related to us not allowing ourselves to heal, allowing the balm, the anointing, the power of God, going through the process, understanding the practical tools, really engulfing and understanding the process of healing will allow you to have a balance and understanding of fear. So if you are triggered as you are going through the process and that fear comes up, you will become aware of it, and instead of trying to ignore it, instead of trying to suppress it, you I'll have to allow it to come up, to address it, to acknowledge it, to allow it to pass. And that's what many people don't do. When the fear happens, for many of us, we've suppressed it for so long that we wear this mask like I did. But now that, I have healed, I recognize that if fear comes or if I am triggered by something, I know that it's okay to sit with that thing. I know that it's okay to process it. I know that it's okay to release it in any form, of course, not harming yourself or anyone, but allowing the pain, allowing the process to move past you, and allowing the Spirit of God to reveal truth. The Spirit of God is the revealer of all truth, and God is omnipresent, always present with you. So I would encourage you to take that step because it is necessary, it is needed, you are needed for yourself to walk in wholeness, to walk in truth. And yes, for other people. Of course, it affects other people and it benefits other people in a good way. When you heal, it really does. Take it from experience. But just imagine if you healed for yourself. Imagine the gift that you were giving you when you walk with God and develop that relationship with God and really see yourself as light and really see yourself as healed and whole. Imagine that kind of relationship. Imagine that kind of gift that you are giving to yourself. So I hope that helps.